See if I have this thing going here. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my live stream today. It is October the 20th. It is 2:20 p.m. Pacific time here in Southern California. Sorry about that. That's my radio going off, which will be there shortly. Once again, thank you for joining me today. Anybody new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I come on about 2 or 3 days a week, just streaming live ham chat, whether it be on 144.250 here locally here in Southern California on upper sideband, or I kind of go around the different reflectors here on DStar. Today I'll be going between reflector 30 and reflector 1 probably this afternoon. Quick little note for me. I bought 2 hotspots, the MVMB. I can't pronounce the name of it. They come from Amazon. They're like $108. I first bought one, and I liked it so much, I bought a second one to put in my car. Although I had issues with it connecting to my 5-year-old iPhone, which I'm too cheap to buy a new one. And actually, now I can't find any new ones. I wanted to get a 13, but they're back ordered till sometime mid-December. So I'm sure it's probably sitting off the coast here in Southern California. But that's another story for another day. But anyways, I had trouble with it connecting to my hotspot through my phone. So I wanted to connect it through my, what's it called? What was I going to say? I'm spacing out here. I wanted to connect it through my telephone system through my car. I have a hotspot built into my car. I have a 2017 Chevy Volt with OnStar and all that stuff. But I couldn't get it to change the SSID. So I decided to hit the reconfig on the Wi-Fi so the little Pi Star would show up, and it did not. So I don't know what the deal is with that. So I decided to make a couple other changes, and it nuked the memory card. I wouldn't boot up. I couldn't see it on any network. I couldn't see the Pi Star network on Wi-Fi. I was lost. So I'm thinking I just boat anchored or bricked the Pi Star I bought there just a couple days ago. So I was pretty upset. So I went ahead and completely wiped out the card and decided to load everything manually. So what I did is I had let me see, it's a it's a micro SD card. I have a micro SD card reader that I plugged into my 19-year-old MacBook Pro. Sorry, it's actually 2012, but it still works. Anyways, I got that thing going, and I figured, I'll just copy over the card from my other Pi Star that's working fine. No, that didn't work. I didn't think it was going to be that easy. But anyways, I found some videos on YouTube. They were able to teach me how to load everything back into Pi Star. So what I did, and I'll give you just a quick little demonstration. So what I did is I had to load some software called, I'm trying to find it here. I thought I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't download it. But anyways, you can't just drop the Pi Star software onto the memory cards. You have to write it on. And I used a software, and I'm really kind of bummed out. Oh, it's called Bellina Etched, which I'll bring up here on the screen. So I had to flash over the file from Pi Star directly. I downloaded a configuration and everything. I had to select it over, do all this stuff, flash it over. Ended up getting that going. Oops, I'll get to that in a second. So I was able to get that thing going. But then the original Wi-Fi I had on there, which said Pi-Star, and I can go on there, configure the Wi-Fi, wasn't on there. So I had to go back to the Pi-Star webpage, create a file, unplug the memory card from the Pi-Star, plug it into the memory stick into my computer, drop the file, configuration file for Wi-Fi on there, and then go through everything again. Was able to get it going, was able to get the Pi-Star to talk to my home network again. So I was able to configure everything. Also add on the Wi-Fi for my hotspot for my car that's built into my car's OnStar system. And I just took a little drive, I don't know, 10 minutes away, close to a cell tower that I know that it was close and I had good signal. By the way, Andy, hi. You're the first one in the chat as always. Not always, but pretty close. Special daytime chat, just talking about my Pi-Star issue I had. So anyways, I went to a place where I know I had good signal, was able to connect my phone's Wi-Fi to the hotspot Wi-Fi in my car. And I was also able to, looks like someone's talking on DStar right now. I was also, oh, you got Don in there as well. Don, I'm just talking about my DStar problems I had today. So anyways, I was able to, I basically parked underneath the cell tower, which is about a mile from my house. I was able to connect all my stuff to the hotspot, the DStar hotspot, able to configure it for my car's Wi-Fi, got it going, made a contact on reflector 1, reflector 30, and reflector 12 alpha. I was also able to change everything through my car, through my ID 5100, which made me really happy because it was basically this thing was bricked. But I was surprised I was able to bring it back from the dead, and I didn't break anything in the process. So it is always something, isn't it? It's very distracting. It's very, I couldn't get it to work with my cell phone. I did briefly. But my cell phone's battery would drain super fast. This is an iPhone 8 or whatever plus, Max Plus or whatever they call it. So it's 5 years old. Not that old, but technology-wise, this thing's 30 years old. But it still does a job for me making phone calls and whatever else. So I decided just to buy 20 gigs of hotspot on my Wi-Fi through my OnStar service on my 2017 Chevy Volt. Was able to get it working. Yes, it does to back it up. I did not know how to back it up till I found some more videos on how to back it up. So yes, but now I know how to configure everything, so it's not going to be that bad even if everything does get wiped out. It's only a couple keystrokes to get it back to where it needed to be, but still frustrating as F. I'm so pissed off at myself for that. But now it works, and now I have a full mobile hotspot in my car that I can use when I'm on the road. So I'm looking forward to it. The only thing is it's hooked up to AT&T Wi-Fi or AT&T, what's it called? Internet service, which is kind of choppy by my area. But that's why I had to move to an area of town where I know that the hotspot is a little better, the LTE is a little better. I don't have 5G or anything like that. Now I switched over to Verizon, a little bit better. I had AT&T because I had an employee discount because I worked for a television broadcaster that was owned by them. So, anyways, I got that out of the way. Let's get to some radio here. I think I'm on Reflector 1 Charlie right now. Let me double check here. Yes, I am on a Reflector 1 Charlie. Oh, man, I haven't been on for a couple days. You're probably not going to hear that one very well. So, looks like there's somebody from Italy is on. I don't think I've ever made a contact with somebody in Italy. So, anyways, let's go for it. I'm just going to be on probably for a few minutes. That guy's 6,500 miles away. I'm probably just going to be on for a few minutes doing some testing. I don't do too much daytime streaming, but I figured do it tonight. I apologize for the screen looking blue because the beautiful blue sky coming in from my window here is reflecting onto my Icom 9700 screen. All right, so if anybody watching on a stream today has a DStar capable radio,
IK8E.
I think I'm gonna go to. I think I'm gonna go to reflector 30. That guy's having some issues. Reflector link to reflector 30.
PBA mobile or to the E9TGR. Yeah, I did hear you. I was asking.
Does not sound very good.
Personally, go into the ports in Los Angeles and pick up goods and take them
I got to
out of there.
take a quick phone call, so I'll be right back.
I don't know if we're allowed to go into the port, pick something up that's going back to Canada or not, because we don't go into the ports. So we usually pick up from the freezers from the growers in California. So I don't know. But it seems to me there was something about that on XM radio on the trucker channel there on XM. They were talking about trying to pass a law there a while back that for going into the car and he's picking up freight coming out of the port. You had to be unionized or with a company that is unionized. So other than that, it doesn't affect us any for produce or anything like that. But I don't know what's going on out there. As far as California wisdom, you hit the bullseye there. Back to you, E9TGR.
Well, Tom, first of all, I would have to say California wisdom is a totally oxymoron. And to Jeff, if you're still listening, as a citizen of the U.S., I've got an idea. I think we should, I think I've heard California saying, maybe it wasn't, but maybe they were sometimes saying they were going to secede from the United States. I suggest that they do. I would be all for that, and that we build the wall around California, but open their border to everybody coming in illegally and just let them pour into California. I think since
you dropped it there, Rich. After I think you were gone. E9TGR.
Okay, Tom, let me try this again. Can you copy me after this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear now.
VE9T.
Okay, what I was saying is, from your last comment, you said something about California wisdom, and I would say that is a total oxymoron. And I'd ask Jeff, as a citizen of the U.S., if he's still listening, what he thought of the idea is proposing California secede from the United States. We build the border wall around California, but open it on the south end to let all the illegals in that they think are so great, because their politicians in Hollywood and everybody that's proposing all this and all the money behind it, they should be a fantastic utopia there. So, Jeff, if you're listening, and Tom, please chime in. What do you think? I think we should make California their own country.
I think that most states should secede. I think Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, anything, any coastal state, any border state, if it has a good constitution. I don't have a problem with secession. I don't know why anybody would have had a problem with it a long time ago other for taxes. So, same might be true now. I'd say give them their state and let them have it, let them do what they want to with it, and let them be their own country and that sort of thing. They can put up, like, their own walls and all that stuff. Whatever they want to do, I think is fine.
Yeah, you know, was really interesting a couple nights ago, I have a clear node, you know, which is an all-star node. And I was listening late at night. It was so late. It was a lot later than I normally would listen. And I was pretty tired. And boy, did I feel like chiming in, but it was too late to get started. There's a group of repeaters out there called the PAPA system, PAPA, and it's actually very good. It's out in the Southern California, Los Angeles area, and they have quite a substantial set of very good repeaters and a very good technological base. So they're very good, you know, for people that are mobile or whatever, and having a lot of drivers. I think it's great. But they have these nets where they talk and occasionally ask, you know, when I first got into ham radio, it's been a year and a half. Yeah, a little over a year and a half. And what I read on etiquette was, you know, to try to stay away from politics like I'm talking about here and the basic things, religion and blah, blah. But they bring it up as a point of discussion. And there were some people there, their point was asking, why is there so much acrimony and why can't people just get along and meet in the middle? And boy, was I so tempted, because you could tell the guy was educated. I felt like saying, you really think when you close down the Keystone Pipeline, drive the price of oil up, drive the price of goods up, make food cost more, allow illegals in with separate rules for everybody else, all these things you're doing, abandon people in Afghanistan. Tell me how it's even possible to come to terms with agreement between both sides on that. Back to you guys.
Let's see if I got it here. V9TJ.
V-E-9-T-J.
Well, I can't say too much because I'm not a U.S. citizen. But I don't know where that would put me. I'm even considering moving down here and staying down here and becoming an undocumented myself. So I wouldn't want to have to be limited to just California. Back to you, Rich.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tom, absolutely. I mean, if people can come from Haiti and Guatemala and come in here legally and get free stuff and be shipped to New York at 4 o'clock in the morning on a plane at taxpayer expense, absolutely a Canadian that's intelligent that can actually provide a valuable service should be let in. Absolutely, no questions asked. Right, Jeff?
Oh, I don't want nothing for free. The only way I would do that is if I had a job to go to. I could support myself.
And most United States citizens, in that they are free men upon the land, and they have conserved their history and their culture. And they don't mix very well because they are very conservative over their culture and their people. And, you can't be an American and be beholden to a federal government or anything like that, or even really be beholden to a government, because that's really antithetical to being an American. Think of the Travis letter. It's a good example. If you don't know what the Travis letter is, look it up. I don't know if that even answers your question.
Oh, no, I hear you, Jeff, and I think we probably totally agree on all this. And Tom, what I said before, I was not meaning that you come here not to work. I was meaning that you come here as a valuable person to provide work and a valuable service, not for free. So, no, I was meaning that in a complimentary way. Back to you.
Man, Tom, if he immigrated illegally to the United States, he'd be a welfare porch jockey in about a month.
I don't think so. No. I wouldn't go anywhere where I couldn't be self-sustaining, take care of myself.
Hold on a second. I'll be right with you guys.
I like being able to do what I want to do. So I'd have to have a job and a paycheck. No other way about it. I won't even live off the government in my own country. Why would I do it in somebody else's?
Tom, I hear you. I'm 70, going on 75, and I would not have to work, but I work for myself. I'm self-employed and continue to earn some reasonable money, you know, kind of working with another company in the background that I used to have, just because I don't want to live off fixed income or off the government. So I hear you loud and clear.
AD2Z.
Well, there's many reasons why I would love to immigrate to the U.S. One of them is when I started driving truck over 40 years ago, they only had, I think, 38-foot trailers, and then they went to 45-foot trailers. And I always wanted a truck that was stretched out with a great big sleeper. Then when they come out with the 53-foot trailers, Canada, in its wisdom, mandated that you can't have a truck over 2 44-inch wheelbase. Well, there was no way you could take a truck with 2 44-inch wheelbase and put a 120-inch sleeper on it. So now they've gone to a 283-inch wheelbase, which still I can't take a long-nosed Peterbilt or a Kenworth and put a 120 or 130-inch sleeper on it. I always wanted my own truck with the big sleeper, the big stretched-out sleeper. And I can't do that in Canada. I can't even go into Canada with that. Back to you.
All I can say is that's crazy, Tom. So, oh man. Well, listen, I'm going to have to back out for a few minutes here. My battery's about to die on the D74, and I'm going to have to just step away for a few. So, 9TGR, K4ZXX, this is KEAPBA. I'll say 73 for a little while. I'm back to monitoring shortly.
All right, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call for work.
K4ZXX.
Okay, Rich. We'll talk to you later.
Which repeater or which reflector should I pop on here? Hello, everybody. This is Greg, K6EGG monitoring reflector. I think I'm on reflector 30. And I'm also on YouTube. If you type in my call letters K6EGG into the YouTube search engine, you can hear how you sound coming out of my Icom 9700 on DStar. Once again, this is Greg, K6EGG monitoring reflector 30 Charlie from Southern California.
I'm in one of them rich little towns, and that they're so concerned about how it looks, and that they make everybody fill up their perimeter with trees around their shopping malls.
I think somebody has an open mic, doesn't realize it.
And the whole town looks the same. Doesn't matter what intersection you're at. Everything looks the same. You don't know where anything is at. Like, you could live here for a year and only think there's one grocery store. It's just weird. I'm in Cary, North Carolina. And it is a strange town. Everything runs in circles. I get lost every time I come over here. I gotta use my GPS.
I don't know if I should answer him.
Yeah, we got some towns like that up in Ontario.
Well, apparently I must have got in somebody's conversation, but I didn't hear anybody for a while.
You can't have a car parked in your driveway that don't have plates on it, valid plates on it. If you decide that you're not going to drive that car, you're going to put it up for sale, take the plates off it.
Let's go over to reflector.
You can't do that. It can't be sitting in your driveway. You can't change the tire in your driveway. You can't change your oil in your car in your driveway. You can't do any work on your car other than maybe wash it in your driveway. That's about all.
Get that watermark going?
And,
You see that at the bottom? If you're watching at a computer, the bottom
put a
right,
flower bed in.
right
You've got to
here.
go through the city, the town, to put the flower bed in. I couldn't live in them towns. But you know, I teach air.
What is that, a township law?
So
or
let's go to reflector
province line
1, Charlie,
in New Brunswick.
and see if anybody else is on
No, in
there.
Ontario. Aurora, Ontario's one. There's some towns
Ontario.
like that. You can't do any work on your car in your driveway. You can't have a car that...
Well, that sounds very communistic, doesn't it?
Link to REF001 Charlie.
K6EGG monitoring reflector 1 Charlie, and also on YouTube. If you type in my call letters into the search engine, K6EGG, so you can kind of monitor and see how you sound through DStar here. This is Greg, K6EGG from the city of Chino, 40 miles east of downtown Los Angeles in Southern California.
Wow, man, there's a bunch of people tied to that reflector, and there's nobody talking on it. That is strange stuff. Let's go to reflector 12. Oh my goodness. Look at this. You can see me on there. Let's go, Brandon. That's awesome. So, reflector 1 is no bueno. So I'm going to go to reflector 1 alpha, which is a local reflector here in Southern California. Kind of quiet today, which is surprising. Sorry, I haven't looked in the chat in a second or so. I'll be there in just a sec. Got to reconfigure my... you should see me pop up here.
Link to REF001 Alpha.
All right, so wait a minute. I'm on reflector 1 again. I got some issues with my DStar, by the way. Still working that out. Trying to get to reflector 12. I had to reflash my drive. Okay, reflector 12. Let's see here. Let's see if this does it this time. It defaults back for some reason.
Link to
defaulted to 30 now.
REF012 Alpha.
All right. Let's go, Brandon. This is the last person on here, 20 minutes ago.
K6EGG monitoring reflector 12 alpha from Southern California, from Chino.
It's quiet in the DStar world today. I do need to get some HF going. That's going to be one of my goals here. The other night, I had like 20 QSOs in like 5 minutes. I don't know what the heck is going on. By the way, I'm looking outside. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Southern California. Let's go back to 30 Charlie, I guess. Actually, let's see if N6DXN's out there.
N6DXN K6EGG.
Looks like he was the last person on here. I talked to Rick when he gave me a a callback when I fixed my DStar hotspot. Let's go Brandon there. It's pretty good stuff. So I'm going to go back to reflector 12. I am going through a hotspot right now through my house's internet, but I can connect. Yeah, just answered you. But I could also connect to that same reflector, which is right here. What is going on here? I got a problem here with my radio. Gotta reset this mofo. All right, I got issues with my radio here apparently. For some reason it got out of memory mode. Anyways, I can also connect to that same reflector. There's a group of repeaters called the Papa System. It's about 10 repeaters here in Southern California and Central California that all link together via reflector 12 alpha, which I was just on. So I'm going to go to reflector 30 now. See if anybody pops on here.
Link to
I'm doing this more for testing this afternoon. I'll be doing my normal stream tonight.
Charlie.
Wait a minute or two, make sure no one's talking. Yeah, you know, there's a couple. I wish I can go on VHF right now. There's a couple repeaters here. So that works.
Well,
there's a couple repeaters here that are very active.
They try to get everybody
See,
to pay
I mean,
you square foot if you get rid of your.
Now let's see here. Now, I don't know why I cannot change. I'm trying to figure out my radio here. Of course, this thing is not working. $160 or $144. What part of the area you moving to? I spent a summer in Melville, Long Island, of all places, doing an install at a. It was like a swim center. Nassau County, I believe it was called. What happened to all my memories? Why am I not in memory mode? Quick VFO memory. There we go. You'll see how active. There's a couple repeaters.
Maybe to do
There's one there.
or anything that they
There's another
say
one there.
or do or even lie about.
I mean, it's pretty packed. This one,
But,
this one right
that
here,
was
this
something
K9KO, this one's like 24/7. It's going off.
Anyways,
This one not so much, but mainly from like 3 in the
K6EGG, I'm gonna jump out. Talk to you,
from like 3 a.m. to like about 10 p.m. It's going pretty crazy.
Have a great afternoon, man. N6DXM.
Let me see if I.
Trace, I'm hearing people on the job talking about, you guys are talking about fake vaccine cards. Oh yeah, we heard that. One guy was telling me our union sent out a letter.
This might be a good
really
information.
encouraging everybody to
This
get
is actually the guy I was trying to call on DStar here. This is N6DXN.
Pulled down the wrong goddamn driveway. The FBI is investigating. I need to pay attention. I pulled into the wrong driveway in Norco. Damn it. Investigating fake vaccine cards, and they're prosecuting people, and you're getting jail time for it. Now they're trying to scare people. When the bottom line is, because my union sent out letters too. They didn't say that, but their threat was because if you're not allowed to go on a job site, there's other trades out there, especially non-union, and they're sitting in their wings waiting to take our jobs from us to do our work. Yeah, whatever. It's all about you guys getting your dues. You want my job, you can have it.
I was trying to
Of
get
course, that is
see if I can get DXN over to DStar.
for all this is the money. It gives all the power to the politicians, the unionsmen, and Well, New York and
For those of you
Chicago,
watching outside the area, this is pretty much an anything goes
Washington
repeater.
as well. Yeah. How's that gonna work
Politics,
for Chicago?
everything.
The city that has the highest murder rate in the world, with the third less cops.
With Chicago?
So I'm at Tractor Supply. Where would they keep the ivermectin? Any idea?
With all the equine supplies, that's horse supplies for anybody that lives in Rialto.
Rialto is a highly drug area here in Southern California. Oh, that's
K6EGG.
that's actually the guy I was trying to call. That's funny. That was N6DXN right here. What if it shows where he's at? That's kind of weird. So he was on the 60. Not too far away from me. Yeah. I'm over here. Interesting. All right. Let's see if somebody here is on a local chat frequency. Ragchew. Kilowatts.
6 Echo Golf Golf, monitoring 144250 upper sideband.
Hey, Don, if you see the KB2 UKA, that's Douglas. He has a YouTube channel out of New York, HF. Him and W7HU, I watch all the time. They have a pretty good web. I hear somebody way down in the background. I watch them all the time, so check them out, Don. You've talked to actually Alex, right? Or that was Ward. I hear somebody in the background. Oh, you know what? I don't have my amplifier on. There you go. Now they'll be able to hear me.
K6EGG monitoring 144-250 upper sideband, City of Chino.
Greg, you copy? W6
There you go. Now I got you. I didn't have my amplifier on, dude. Sorry.
He's just calling you, but I don't think you heard him.
I heard somebody way down in the background.
Yeah, he's mobile, just pulling up from his driveway.
Mobile. All right. Cool deal. Sorry I missed him.
Yeah, I met with Gabe this morning over at the site of our event, and he approved the site.
Excellent. We'll have a mini super spreader there. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, spread it around. We got a good site, and it looks like it might work out.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing you again and actually maybe talking to you a little bit more. I wasn't able to talk to you too much last time I met you, and meeting Gabe and all those guys out there.
Maybe you could have a demonstration. You could set up your hotspot over there, bring a little table, your little hotspot, and demonstrate your hotspot, with a cell phone.
I want to blow my hotspot up. I don't know if you were watching YouTube from the beginning today. I corrupted my SD card on it, had to start from complete scratch, but I know how to do it now. I don't know. I don't have a way I can, I guess I can connect to my cell phone. I've had my cell phone Wi-Fi is not working correctly.
Yeah, that's probably your signal, especially if you're moving. You got to get some cutout on that. So have you tried it in different spots in different situations?
I did. My cell phone gets hot to the touch, and my battery drains really quickly. My phone's like 5 years old, and I connected it to my OnStar system through my Chevy Volt, and it worked flawlessly the first time. So, able to get that working now.
Good.
I was encouraging Keith to get a hot spot. You know, he goes mobile from way down there in Costa Mesa somewhere, and he can't make the repeater down there, Gates repeater, so he's kind of stuck to 5.2 or 2.50.
I would love to hear him on DStar. That'd be great, you know, especially, you know, sometimes when I'm driving, I don't have a good, clear shot to him.
Yeah, that's what is the good thing about DStar, especially if mobile, if your hotspot is working, you can get anywhere, basically. Yeah, we need to get you on 14 when you stream sometime. We can check 14 out.
Hey, we can go over there right now if you want.
Yeah, I'm there now on 14, unless it changed on me. I tried to experiment with an XRF reflector the other day and got on and talked to a guy up in the valley somewhere that owns a repeater up there. And so I don't understand exactly what the XRF reflector is.
I talked on one out of New York. One time. Oh, you know what? Am I on side button mode? Yeah, I do. I am. So I don't know the whole theory behind it, but if you go on Thursday night, I don't know if you got a pin handy, there is a reflector XLX369 at 6 p.m. our time, Pacific time, here in Southern California. They do a, it looks like is it a picture net? Something like that? Still there, Don?
Yeah, we're looking at your stream.
All right, do you want to go over to reflector 14, Charlie? Is it 14, Charlie?
Yeah, 14, Charlie. Let's try it out. A question before you go. On that XLX369, you just dial that up on your dashboard, and it's that easy?
Yes, that one you have to do through the dashboard. I couldn't do it through the radio, I don't think. It didn't have an X on there, but don't quote me. I was half asleep when I did it last time I tried it. So let's give it a try. Let's go over the 14 Charlie. This is Greg, K6EGG QSY, to reflector 141014 Charlie.
36 to you, okay.
K6EGG W6DUO.
W6DUO, K6EGG. It's so nice to hear you nice and clear. It's a hard copy sometimes, as you well know, through sideband, but hearing you loud and clear on reflector 014 Charlie.
Yeah, it sounds real good and clear. And you're on the hotspot naturally, so you got over there. Yeah. So what is your default reflector on your PiStar?
Right now I have it on reflector 30 Charlie. 30 Charlie.
What I noticed on mine, like we're talking, say your home default reflector's 30 Charlie, we're talking on 14 now. After you shut down or after so much time, the next time you turn your radio on, it'll be back on 30 Charlie. Did you find that out?
I did notice that. Yeah, I have noticed that.
I guess that's the nature of the beast on that PiStar dashboard, that it will eventually, after probably a variable time, set it back to your default reflector.
Yeah, I'm assuming the first time it powers up too as well, it will go to that reflector, and right when you start out. That's kind of the way I want it for my car when I fired up my car. By the way, I see WA6QXA in the dashboard here on this reflector.
We just talked. We talked as he got closer. He couldn't take the freeway because it was jammed, so he was on surface streets, and he was a little flaky till he got up closer to home. Then we talked on this reflector.
Good. I'd love to see him on some DStar, man. I made a ton of really good contacts out there. Looks like we got some people watching in the chat, too. On YouTube, if anybody listening on Reflector Charlie that's not talking right now, that's listening, you can tune into my live stream if you type in my call letters, K6EGG, into the search engine of YouTube, and you'll be able to hear yourself come out of my Icom 9700 as my pin just hit the radio.
A question on the hotspot. If you cut it off and reboot it, is it just that simple of cutting it off, say unplugging the power and turning it back on? Does it automatically come back up to where you had it, or works as normal?
Actually, we were just talking about that in the chat with is a Frank in there? Yeah. W9WLW. He's watching. Sorry about that. Did a reset there. Get back to my dashboard page that I have online right now. I don't know if you're watching. See, this is the default right here. Reflector 30 Charlie is my default. So it'll always link back to that. So you can set it up for it to be unlinked to another part of your dashboard, which is right. Where is it at? It disappeared. No. Put it on manual, so it won't do that.
K6EGG.
Go ahead, caller. Fifth-time caller from Cyprus.
Yeah, this is K6EGG Cyprus. Yeah, in order to change that, you've got to go to the administrator function. You click on PyStar, you click on the upper right, says administrator, then you go down 1, 2, 3 sections under DStar configuration, and there you'll find the default reflector mode. So you can change that to any reflector you want, or just leave it empty. Whatever you want. It's yours for the taking. K6EGG.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Your default reflector, if you change over to another reflector and talk on it and go back eventually, sometime later, it will change back to your default reflector, and I don't see a time you can set there, but it does eventually go back to default reflector.
Yeah, there's another menu in there that you can change. It's under, I'll have to look at it a little bit more, but there is under expert, somewhere in the expert mode, there's a setting in there, and you can change that. And the nomenclature for the amount of time is kind of hit and miss. I mean, I have to go. I haven't played with that for a while. I just got the mine set up to 60 minutes. I haven't played with it in a while. So, but it's all there. You can. There's a way to change it.
Be careful there, Keith. You're in the expert mode. Be careful. He's had it up on his screen there, Gabe.
W6DUO.
Where that is, But I'll have to find it again. 0610.
I see where it is. I just don't want to mess with it. I don't know if you were watching my stream at the beginning, but I had a disastrous day with my my Pi-Star, my hotspot that I have in my car. I corrupted the memory card and had to pretty much start from scratch. So I know how to start from scratch with Pi-Star now.
How did you fry your card?
I don't know where to begin. Let's just say I was trying something that I didn't think was going to work, and it did work. I tried writing to the card directly. Pardon me. I tried making an adjustment on the card, just plugging it into my computer, and it didn't like something. It wouldn't boot right.
Lesson learned. Okay, I won't play around with my card then.
But I know how to program a DStar hotspot now from the scratch. I learned the old-fashioned way.
I thought your Pi-Star image was actually on your SD card. Did you have to generate a new image or something?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I had to wipe out the card completely. Downloaded a new image from that Pi-Star.uk, whatever site. Then had to put a configuration file in for the Wi-Fi, then yada, 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 and reset everything.
Well, that sounds complicated. I hope you wrote it down in case we need it.
It's on YouTube. I know the site. It actually, the guy was really good. He, did one for one, took his time. I did it as he was doing it, and it worked the first time. So I was fairly frustrated with myself, I should say.
Hey, and anybody new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this calendar year. Just as a hobby, I'm not going to try to sell anything. And yes, I had it set up to boot manually, but I stopped doing that because at the time I didn't have a way to use the DR mode.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea if you got another card and, configured it and then saved your current settings to it so that in case it ever happens, you just plug another card in. That's what I've got on mine.
Yeah, I have two hotspots now, so I could just copy one from the other. That was the other thing I tried to do. I tried to copy it directly and write it on, but that didn't work either. So now I know how to do it. I can make it happen if I need to put another card in from scratch. So a little frustrating, but it's actually not as complicated as it sounds.
In the expert mode, there's a backup/restore function, so you can, when you've got it set up the way you want it to, you hit that and then save it to your computer, and then you can plug in the other card that it's been configured for Pi-Star, and then just restore it to that configuration you just saved. That's one way to make it really easy.
Somewhere it pops up on the screen that I'm running an older version or something. Maybe they've updated I don't know if they've updated the image or something that is not as simple as just updating it in the expert mode. Greg, do you know what I'm talking about? Did they update the image with a different firmware or something?
I don't know how I can answer that question, but I'm running 5.10.17. I downloaded this out. I'm sorry, Pi-Star 4.1.5. And I downloaded this afternoon, or this morning. So I'm guessing I have the most up to date.
Yeah, that's right. Don, what's your version?
Oh, check it out. Hold on.
I think you could just do it through pretty easy. I think I updated it on my other one.
Using 3.4.17.
Whoops.
Well, is better.
Well,
I accidentally hit the update. So if you guys are watching, I'll be right back. Actually, you guys can keep watching. This is what I did by mistake here. So I hit the update. Oh, my screen is dying. So I have to go back over here. Sorry. That was a bonehead move. Now it's not linking. Of course. I had enough with PyStar today. I'm going to have to reboot it because I did something bad. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So I got to wait about 90 seconds and I'll be back into business, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. It's been one of those days with PyStar, I must say. I am going to be heading out to dinner here in about about 50 minutes. So, yeah. Gabe and DUO, if you're watching, I made a mistake. Sorry. We'll get this thing going here. You'll be automatically redirected. All right. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. Never do that. Never make a change when you're making a conversation. So irritated myself today.
Link to REF030 Charlie. Link to RES014 Charlie.
Welcome back, Greg.
W6DU.
I hit update by mistake. My bad.
You're forgiven.
K6N.
Oh, when I was going to hit it, I'm like, you know what? This is probably not a bad idea, or probably a bad idea. So, and 90 seconds turned into like almost 5 minutes. So, all right, I guess I'm up to date.
Send me detailed instructions how to update my dashboard.
Were you watching my stream right there? That's how you would do it.
I got to do something with SD card. I got to copy something from an SD card over to my SD card and on and on.
I found the reconnect startup menu. It's under expert, under IRCDDB gateway.
The one where it comes up blank for the reflector.
Well, this thing here, this menu here, the reflector that's shown on this menu is what you input in, you know, the dashboard menu. But there's also the app startup and the reconnect, and you can control the reconnect time there. I've got an 8 in mine, and I believe that's an hour. But it's not specifically minutes. I think 8 is 1 hour. I think 6 is half an hour. I read once what the meaning was, and I don't remember exactly what it is now. But that's where you can do that.
I'm not touching a thing right now.
Yeah, there you go. It was right there. Yeah.
I am not touching a thing.
K9WLW.
Welcome in, Frank.
Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry it took me so long to get on. I'm moving into my new home, and I literally had to unpack the Raspberry Pi out of a box and plug it in and wait for it to connect to the Wi-Fi here.
Got you here, Frank. Where are you located?
I am now in Zephyr Hills, Florida. Zephyr Hills, Florida. And there's no space between Zephyr and Hills.
Never heard of it, of course. I know that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of little towns, but I guess Florida must be the place, huh?
Yes, I just left, moved out of Tampa. This is kind of my first night here. Over the next several days, I'm going back and forth between my old apartment in Tampa and here. It's about 40 miles, roughly an hour's drive. I have some movers bringing the remaining furniture on Friday. And the rest of the time, I'm going to be basically cleaning up the apartment before I turn the keys over to the landlord. So, but I just purchased a home out here outside of Zephyr Hills. So, and I brought all the amateur gear with today's trip here, including the open spots and the Pi-Star and the so on and so forth. So I was literally unpacking the box when I heard you guys were jumping to this reflector. But yeah, what I was going to say that I couldn't say until I got on the air is on the DStar configuration section, you must select a default reflector on the Pi-Star dashboard on the configuration page. It doesn't allow you to leave it blank, but what you can do is instead of, select any reflector you want, but instead of putting in the auto, which is over to the right, you have two little buttons you click on. One says auto, one says manual. When you check it on auto, every time your Pi-Star reboots, anytime you hit apply changes, so on, it will connect to that reflector whether you want it to or not. Remember, if you leave your Pi-Star on overnight, it will do a reboot in the middle of the night when you do when the automatic Pi-Star updates go through. And that's usually anywhere from 3 to 5 in the morning, depending, I guess it's based on your time zone. So what I do is I set mine to manual. That way, if I fall asleep or forget to unlink from reflector, overnight it will automatically connect unlinked when you switch it to that manual as opposed to auto. That way the default is for it to not link to any reflector.
Okay, I got that.
W6DUO.
Now, there was somebody out there, I don't know who it was, that apparently had the Pi-Star 3.4.17 still going. I don't know if that party was still on.
Oh, that's me. I got the old oldie but goodie.
Okay, if you go to the Pi-Star.uk website, you can download the new image for 4.1.5. What I do is I always save my downloads to the desktop of the computer, so it's an icon. That way it's easily reached on the main screen of the computer. And then I use a program that you can Google called Belena, B-E-L-E-N-A, Belena Etcher, E-T-C-H-E-R. It's a program that you can also download and save as an icon on your desktop that is used to unzip the files and transfer them over to your SD card. So you can download the new image onto the desktop, download the Belena Etcher to the desktop, and then you can also go to the Pi-Star UK and download your Wi-Fi information, a little TXT file, and you can drop that right into that icon that you have the downloaded Pi-Star image, and just drop it right in there on the desktop. That way, then you go to Belena Etcher, and you ask Belena, and then plug in your micro SD card into the USB port on the PC. And then you go to Belena Etcher, and it'll ask you what file you would like to unzip, and you would search for the Pi-Star download, and then it'll automatically know that you want to transfer it to the D drive, which would be the SD card, and it will automatically unzip it and then transfer it right to the SD card. And when it's completed, all you have to do is pop that SD card right into the Raspberry Pi, and it should connect to your Wi-Fi, and you have the newest version. Do a couple manual updates, and you should be good to go with the new Pi-Star version.
Yeah, thanks for that explanation. I wrote that Belena Etcher down and somewhat download the 4.1, put it on your desktop, download Belena Etcher, put it on your desktop, then use Belena Etcher to unzip your download file, and before that, you put your cell phone, your Wi-Fi information, I guess in the download, I think you said where you download the image and transfer it over to your SD card and then put it in your PyStar, something like that?
Well, first you want to download the image and save it to the desktop if you can. That way you can see it, because otherwise you got to go digging in the computer to find where it is. I like desktop-y stuff. There's plenty of room on most desktops for. I'm one of these guys that has like 40 icons on the desktop. I hate digging in files. I like to just find it right on the primary screen. Makes it easy to access or locate. Now, after you've done that, you go back to the PyStar UK website, and there's a place where you can download the Wi-Fi information. I'm actually pulling it up now as I speak here. I'm going to pystar.uk, pistar.uk. When you go to... let's see, they have, okay, the downloads is where you find a list of zip files. And the second from the, let's see, the very last one listed is PyStar RPI version 4.1.5. It'll say 21 June 2021.zip. That's the one you download, save it as an icon. And then after you've done that, you go on the PyStar UK, there's a section in the left-hand column that says downloads. You click on that, or I'm sorry, you go to PyStar Tools, and there's something called Wi-Fi Builder. You click on that, and all it is a two-line thing where you type in your SSID, and you type in the PSK or the password for your Wi-Fi. You hit the submit button, and then it'll save it into the computer, and then of course you want to save that onto the desktop. So you're going to have one little icon for the Wi-Fi, one little icon for the downloaded PyStar. You then just take the icon of the Wi-Fi and drop it right into the folder or into the icon of the downloaded PyStar. That way it'll put the Wi-Fi in that download. Then you go to Balena Etcher and do your magic, and it'll do not only unzip everything, but it will transfer to the SD card, and you should be good to go.
Okay, I got it. Very good instructions there. Thank you very much.
And John, I dropped you an email with all what he just said and a video with this guy doing exactly what Frank said, word for word, and the link to the PyStar website.
Wi-Fi configuration. I literally plugged the PyStar in. First time I brought it to this house, and it took maybe a minute and a half connected to the Wi-Fi. It showed an IP address. I went to Wi-Fi. I use a mobile app. It's called, hold on, I'm going to the phone here. It's called Network Scanner. It's a mobile app for Android. And all you do is you can scan all the IP addresses on your home Wi-Fi, all your connected devices. And I found I've only got two devices right now are connected. One is my phone. The other one is the Raspberry Pi, and I can tell it's that because it's called Raspberry Pi Foundation, and it says a 192.168.1.96. Smack that onto the browser, hit OK, and it pulled up the dashboard, so I'm good to go.
I've seen that program or something similar to pull up your IP addresses. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Don, do I have it? I emailed you exactly what I did. It is pretty much exactly what Frank said. I attached a video, which I followed, which is pretty much word for word what Frank said. and a link to the pystar.uk website. So you'll have everything there when you ready to take on that task. It shouldn't be too bad. It was actually fairly easy. It was easier than setting up the Pystar the first time.
Hey, thank you, Greg. I did get your email, and Gabe, I got your email. Thanks for that. Greg, you're a little loud. Do you have your mic gain?
I was a little too close to my microphone there. I stepped away. It should sound a lot better now.
You had that kind of little rough edge there. Yeah, very good.
Hey, Greg, you know on the admin page where it has that DStar link manager?
Yes.
Okay, the parties that are still using Pystar 3.4.17 do not have a DStar link manager on the admin page, so that'll be a new feature for him when he downloads the new version of Pystar. That was an added feature to the Pystar 4.1 point whatever it was the first time around. And that's a nice little tool because you can actually select your reflectors from that very page without affecting your default reflector, because that's on the admin page. So on his version of Pystar, if he wants to use a dashboard, he's got to go to the configuration page and keep changing his default reflector and hitting apply changes in order to, you know, kerplunk from one reflector to another on the dashboard, which is kind of slow. But with the new version, he'll have that DStar Link Manager feature where you can just hit the link button or whatever and change the reflector number and module, and just boom, it'll just link right in. So he'll appreciate that once he sees that on his admin page.
I normally do that on my radio if I want to change reflectors. Just change it over into the link reflector page.
Well, I use it a lot because sometimes I want to link to a repeater, and I can actually use that admin page to type in the repeater's call sign and module and then hit the link button or whatever it is, and then it just links to the repeater. I can also go to XRS, DCS's, XLX reflectors. You know, it has a free form where you can type in whatever you want and just hit the little link button and it'll take you right there. Although I'm a fan of using the radio, there's a lot more places to go than I programmed at the radio.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, thanks for that.
I'm about Pystar'd out for today. I don't know about you guys.
5 C4FM. There's also link managers that will appear on the admin page where you can do the same thing with those networks, you know, where you can link to whatever reflector you want. And then also, I'm trying to remember what Brandmeister put on there. Again, no, I don't think there's anything new for Brandmeister on there from the old version, but it does help a lot with C4FM, P25, and NXDN reflectors, because you have link managers that'll pop up on the admin page for those modes if you activate them.
I'm about Pystar'd out for today.
I start school today, huh?
Well, considering what they cost, they're the coolest invention that by ham radio in recent years, in my opinion. I mean, you can get them now fully assembled and ready to put the, to plug in for like $100 these days, which is, pretty good price.
I couldn't see spending $400 plus for an open spot 3.
Well, at home I like Pi Stars, and I'm probably going to order a couple more 0Ws. There's a place called R&L Electronics in Hamilton, Ohio. That's a little local neighborhood ham shack store. And they have some I think they have the jumbo spots, and they're fully assembled. They have a little miniature display on them, and they're like $100 each. So I figured I'm going to order a couple more just to add to the collection. But I do like the open spots in the mobile environment, because I plug them into the USB power port of the car, and I'm constantly getting in and out of the car, shutting the car off, power cut off. Well, the open spots don't mind when you kill the power. You can turn power on, power off, power on, power off, and it doesn't corrupt them in any way. They're like indestructible. And when you do start the car, the open spot boots up in like 10 seconds, and it's already linked into where you last were.
They have the battery, right, which gives you that opportunity to cut the car off and on. The battery steps in, right?
It does, but I have it configured. There's a menu configuration on it where I actually have it default to off when there's no power going into it. Again, if I want to walk around with it or something, I can reconfigure it so that it doesn't do that. And the reason I do that is I don't want it to remain on when I get out of the car. I want it to shut off when I get out of the car. I start the car, 10 seconds, open spot, connected to REF030 Charlie. Bingo, I'm right back in. I mean, I even put the car in gear and it's already linked in when I start it up. So it's, and I also have an open spot 2, which is a lot like the 3, but only it doesn't have an internal battery, so it does require a cable for power.
Yeah, I knew that was a change. That's good information, Frank. Thanks a lot.
What jumbo spot has the battery in it? I'm trying to find it online here.
Open spot.
Oh, the only open spot that's sold by the manufacturer right now is called the Open Spot 3, and that has an internal battery that will run for about 6 hours, and then as soon as you plug it in, you can charge it while you're using it. Again, I only use the battery per se if I'm like pedestrian mobile. Because in the car, I'm one of these guys, I'm always wanting my batteries at 100%. I do that with my cell phone. I do that with everything until I have no choice, like when I'm walking around.
Yeah, I'd rather have 2 of these cheapo open or whatever MMV spots, one for the car and one for the one for the shack, pardon me, than spending $430 on one hotspot. Personally, I know DUO Don here actually kind of talked me into this, so I'm fairly happy with the setup I have now.
Yeah, I mean, and you can power a Raspberry Pi with like a cell phone charger too. Those can come in handy. That way you don't have the car kicking on and off, killing the hotspot. It's just a problem if you don't use a backup power source on a Raspberry in a mobile environment.
Copy that. Understand that now.
Yeah, I wish they were a little more stable with the SD card. That is kind of an annoyance because, like, I literally had to unplug my hotspots today, and I made sure I went to the Pi-Star configuration and I hit the power button, and then I hit the shutdown button, and then I looked at the display and waited the 30 seconds or whatever, and then I finally unplugged it. So because again, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Because if you just unplug it, I mean, 99 out of 100 times, no harm, no foul. But then there's that one time, and then the card is corrupted, and then you're like, no.
And Gabe, you still here?
Greg, are you going to the Papa Luncheon in Orange County?
I did not know that existed.
Yeah, they have it this coming Saturday. I just sent you the link to their email.
Oh, wow. I'll be conveniently 1 mile away from that on Saturday at that time.
For Anaheim Stadium?
I'll be at Honda Center. Yeah, I might actually be able just to stop in real quick.
Going to those luncheons, they have a lot of raffle prizes, and it's a nice group of guys. I haven't renewed my Papa membership yet, but I probably should.
Yeah, I don't know how my work situation is on Saturday because I'm working with someone fairly new. I have to be at work at 9. I think our lunch is around 11:30 or 12. So I definitely won't be able to eat, but I might be able to just stop by right quick.
I'm not sure if I'll go or not. I've gone before, but I haven't been since they started. I think this is the second one after they started up. I also have an invitation to go to the old tractor museum show down in Vista, so I have to make a choice. Yeah, I'm going to step aside. Thank everybody for the help. Frank, Greg, Gabe. We'll talk later this evening. W6DUO.
Yeah, I think I'm going to step away also, just kind of doing some little testing here. I normally don't do the afternoon stream thing, so I'll definitely be on later tonight. DUO, Frank, Gabe, thanks again for all the help and information there. This is Greg, K6EGG, going to be signing off. Reflector 14, I believe it's Charlie. Have a good evening, or afternoon, whatever it is, where you're at.
Okay, you guys have a good one. 73s from K9WLW in Zephyr Hills.
All right, this is Greg, K6EGG, special live stream this afternoon. Normally I'm not coming on till a little bit later tonight. Let me get this thing just a little bit centered here. I normally don't come on till a little bit later tonight, but decided to do some testing. I tested out a hotspot. I have two hotspots now. Two hotspots now. And the one, I made some changes. You've heard a little bit if you're watching the whole time. I corrupted the SD card and basically had to start from scratch. But now I know how to do it. At least I have a good idea how it works. So better than buying a whole new hotspot, which I almost did, but I decided to chill out, take my time, watch a couple YouTube videos, and figure out how to do it. And I feel a little sense of accomplishment. Not only that, the hotspot I have in my car is 100%. Was not able to connect to my hotspot on my cell phone because a problem with my cell phone, which I know that there is a problem. This thing's about 5 years old and needs to be upgraded, but I'm a little too cheap to buy another one. But anyways, I'll be back on a little bit later this afternoon, or a little bit later, or early this evening, California time. I'm going to go to dinner with my family, as well as probably watch a little teeny tiny bit of the Dodger game, hopefully. So anyways, take care, and thanks for watching this special afternoon stream here on the Greg K6EGG live stream. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down there below to the bottom right. Much will be appreciated. Take care and have a good one.